Hey guys, welcome to Coopi and Antoni. Today I'm making one of my favorite combos ever, grilled cheese and tomato bisque in Antoni's cookbook, Antoni in the Kitchen, on stands now. It's technically called Rainy Day Grilled Cheese with prosciutto and easy tomato bisque. Because in theory, if you're not me, you should be able to make this pretty quickly at the end of a long, hard day, because as Antoni said, turn many a hard day into bliss at first bite. Can't forget this guy. So we're making tomato bisque first, so we're definitely gonna need one of these. So first we're gonna put, my pan's already on, and I'm gonna take 1 tablespoon of EVOO. So now we're going to add onion and a teaspoon of kosher salt. If you are just joining us, if you missed the first of these, I am one-handed, so things like that happen. But it's okay, we like a messy kitchen. So let's add the onion and the teaspoon of salt and cook, and then we're gonna stir it for a bit. Now we're gonna stir it for a bit. 5 to 7 minutes. I mean, this is so ingredient heavy, so it's just really difficult for me to talk about my favorite organic, freshly picked produce shop in the Hamptons that I get all my ingredients from. But if you can't manage that, store-bought is fine. And if it's raining outside, because we are making rainy day grilled cheese, you just put on your stylish red rain slicker. So the recipe calls for garlic cloves. But part of what I'm doing with this project is, I'm one-handed and things have to be accessible and adaptable for me. So we did buy pre-crushed garlic. New tongue twister for you. We're gonna put in 4 of these for a clove each. Again, I don't know. We're having fun, we're experimenting, we're learning. We're gonna see how it works out. So next, we are going to add the tomatoes for the tomato bisque. You know what? If anyone has any tips on on how to get a 128 counts can of tomatoes opened without a can opener, tell me. Because I had some help with that. Because I can't use it, it's difficult for me to use a can opener. So now we're gonna add the tomatoes in their juices. Very important. So you're supposed to now crush up the tomatoes because they are not pre-crushed. only half a cup. One cup. God, you could binge a whole season of Queer Eye using this method and the amount of time that it took, but that's okay. Here we go. 3 cups of chicken broth have been added. Now we're adding a teaspoon of salt. Now we're gonna add the teaspoon of salt and increase the heat to high, and it's gonna come to a boil. And then after it comes to a boil, we're gonna let it simmer for 10 minutes. So, now comes the fun part of getting what we have so far of the bisque from our stovetop in the saucepan to the blender to get it pureed. Scary. So, this is one of the scariest parts of this. We're gonna do it. Remember, we're getting it until it's creamy and smooth, but also please remember your soup is hot. So be careful. Like really trying to figure out what's the best method. There we go. Gotta get the right angle. I think it's good. So now we're gonna put it back in the saucepan. The final steps are, we are going to put our cream or half and half in, but then also, you're gonna either put in sumac or lemon zest. And fun fact, I had to Google what sumac was when I read this recipe, and guess what I decided going with? Instead of lemon zest, I got sumac. Because getting the lemon zest was going to be a little difficult for me. It's so much easier and way more impressive as a cook to cook with this and just pour it in. Cream. And sumac. Just want to have a teaspoon of sumac. So the bisque should be good by now. We're just gonna cover it after we stir in the sumac, and we're gonna leave it here covered while we make ourselves a grilled cheese sandwich. So grilled cheese is actually one of the few things that I have already made on my own months ago. Actually, that's an exaggeration. It's really the only thing that I made by myself once during adulthood. After my parents, who are excellent cooks, gotta keep up the continuity with this guy. They tried teaching me when I was in like middle and high school and never really stuck. nothing ever really happened with it because I was always kind of afraid to cook. And I found out a microwave was a thing that you can like use and not cook. But I'm really excited to change all that. But anywho, tangent. I have made a grilled cheese before. You're gonna spread mayo on one side of each slice of your bread. So, we're doing this for two reasons, as per Anthony. One, for flavor. Who doesn't love mayonnaise? B, two, to bind the cheese. People have seen me make sandwiches before for lunch and seen how many or how little condiments I put on, and they're just like totally appalled. And it's just like, Jesus, take the wheel, or the person who I am with take the wheel, and they add their own amount of condiments. Important, the bread we're using! Brioche. So, that's preferred. That's what the recipe calls for, or if not, store-bought challah is fine. So, the recipe calls for extra sharp cheddar grated. The thing is, I obviously bought store-bought grated cheddar because adaptability, accommodating, I don't know, we'll figure that out. But this isn't extra sharp, it's just sharp, and the difference, as I have learned this week, between sharp and extra sharp, it just depends on the age of the cheese. Yeah. So we're adding your sprinkling cheese all over. All over. I'm just kind of going ham. We're gonna add a slice of prosciutto over each, or however many you want, to each slice of the bread. Until this project, I had never bought prosciutto, and the time with the dates was my first time when I was cleaning up, my first time eating prosciutto by itself, which is crazy. I don't know. Do people just like sit around and eat prosciutto? Like, just as is? No, not as an ingredient like this? I don't know. Let me know. We're doing this all with one hand, and it's an adventure. Nailing it. Nailing it. There we go. So, now we're gonna add even more cheese on top of the prosciutto. I'm not too stressed about adding more cheese on top, how much cheese on top of the prosciutto, because we already have a nice layer between the bread and the mayo. So, we're gonna move over to the burner. On a large skillet, we're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Actually, I'm just making this for myself, so you don't have to add probably that much butter, because technically according to Anthony's book, this is for like 4, but I'm just doing 1. So, you probably don't need that much butter, but we love butter. So, I'm really proud of myself for that flip. Also, it's a gorgeous brown color. It is a good day. Part of the presentation here is very important. It's instructed by Antoni in the book. You must cut the sandwich on the diagonal. He won't accept it any other way. So that's what we're doing. Perfect. We cannot forget about our bisque. Rip off some basil leaves. As you can see, mine were store-bought. It's fine. Didn't make it out to my garden today that I worked tirelessly on. And there's one final instruction for us. So pretty! Don't forget to dip. Good. Okay. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Coopi and Antoni. I'll see you next time.